Alright, here we are, guys. Finally got my hands on the brand new Sega Saturn Pro controller from Retrobit. Oh man, I've been waiting so long for this moment. I can't believe it. Let's just get right into the unboxing here. This, I cut it open a little bit on the sides, but you gotta really squeeze it out if you don't want to damage it. You could just rip it, but I don't want to damage it. Ooh, that looks nice. My cats are being a little rowdy right now in the background. Yeah, this is pretty cool. I don't remember seeing this in their other packaging. I've never gotten their like 2.4 gigahertz ones. I always get the wired ones from these guys, so this is pretty nice. I like this a lot. I guess it's just trying to show that it's wireless, trying to give you a nice blueprint. Pretty cool. Very nice packaging. Come on now. Okay. I thought it was going to just pop off, but it didn't. Okay, so I got the white one because I love the Japanese color. I like the like purple and blue and green and the yellow buttons. I like all the nice like colorful buttons. That's just how I am. I would get black, but I just like the fun look of the colorful buttons because it's just different from what I'm used to. Because everything's always black and I always like to get one that stands out more from the crowd. I mean, I have a Nintendo Switch controller that's all black, and I have Xbox controllers that are all black. I want something that's like, ooh, that looks different. That looks interesting. So we got instructions here. Oh, it works with the Genesis Mini. That's good. I mean, I don't have a Genesis Mini, but it's good that it works with that. Says it works on Sega Genesis. Requires version 2 Genesis receiver, which I'm assuming that's what that is. What? Wait. Controllers. LED will be red. Wait, Genesis. How could this work for Genesis? It's for Sega Saturn. That I don't understand because it says Sega Genesis requires V2 Genesis receiver, which I'm guessing this is a V2. Wait, does that mean that if I bought a 2.4 gigahertz Genesis controller and had the receiver, I could use this? I don't have no idea. Maybe. But if that were the case, why wouldn't you include that? That'd be so dope. I could use this on my Genesis console, but I have no idea. I don't really want to use it on my Genesis console, though, so it's okay. Anyway, it's no big deal. I got plenty of Genesis controllers. Anyway, so we got it for the Sega Saturn, of course. That's what it's made for. We got the Switch, PC, and Android. I almost said PS something. I'm like, no, it's not PlayStation. Although, with emulation, you could pretty much play this with anything. That's what I'm looking forward to. Is just having this be so versatile, so variety, so much stuff you could play this with. That's what I wanted this mainly for. Ooh, it's tight, really tight in there. Okay, I've been really looking forward to this thing. Hey, modem. This is my cat, Modi. Okay, but man, let's take the plastic off of this. There we go. Man, they really stick it on there. Okay. I don't want to ruin the packaging. I want to keep it nice because you never know when. I mean, I'm probably gonna love this thing, low key love this thing, but you never know. You might want to just keep it all the packaging. One, because it's nice, and two, like maybe like in like years from now, never know. Anyway, that's not important right now. So I like how this looks. It has all the different little detail symbols. It has all the symbols like this previous and forward button right here, like just like the original Sega Saturn controller. As I own a Sega Saturn now, I've had one for a good year or two, and this is just really cool to see that like this looks just like a Sega Saturn controller. It's got those little imprint symbols here, just like a real Sega Saturn controller. I'll give you a comparison in a minute, but yeah, this looks really nice. My cats are sniffing up the box. Yes, it's a fresh new box, modem. Get a real sniff for it. But yeah, this is looking nice and new and looks really good, new and shiny. I love it. I love the way this looks. If you a nice look at this, so these are not analog. These are not analog, but they feel nice. feel all right. They feel good and easy. They don't feel cheap like cheap triggers. They feel like good push triggers. Like they feel like they could be analog if they actually wanted them to be analog. They could. Maybe they could do like a revision, like a second version, where like they do in second version and they make you have analog triggers. But no, these feel like just clicky, but not the cheap clicky, like the good kind of like fast clicky. I like that. These feel a lot better than what the original Sega Saturn triggers feel like, actually. Bumpers, whatever you call them. Bumpers, triggers. I call them mostly triggers. But I think most people call the triggers the ones that are analog, or the back ones, and then these ones are the bumpers. But these both feel like bumpers to me, but they feel really good. And D-pad feels pretty good. Feels nice and smooth. Feels like a Saturn D-pad. And yeah, this is really nice. I like that. I like the way this feels. Even these flat buttons, they don't feel too bad. And these sticks are Hall Effect sticks. They're like Joy-Con sticks, but at least they feel good. They don't feel. I mean, it's mostly. I was mostly worried about, like, you know, how this was going to feel in my hands because of the sticks being so small. So I was worried that the sticks being so small and the controller being kind of small, being kind of cramped, I was like, am I gonna even be wanting to play this with like that many games? Like when I first showed renders of this back in like 2018, 2019, oh my gosh, they had PS4 quality sticks. They had excellent looking sticks. Those were prototypes. So they weren't going to be what we got, apparently. I was like, yeah, that's what I want to see. But no, they couldn't do that, apparently. They just couldn't do it. They had to cram these Joy-Con little sticks in here. I'm like, okay, I guess. And you would have thought that maybe I'd step out by then, but no, I want to love this thing. I want to try it still because I watched that guy's video. I watched a video where this guy got a pre-release version. I forgot the YouTuber's name, but he said it was good. He actually played Apex Legends with this, and he said he had a good time. And he says that these sticks aren't bad and that they feel all right. You just gotta get used to it, and that there's a good enough of a spacing between here. I'm noticing that too. Your thumbs aren't gonna run into each other. It's a good enough spacing right here. I've got about like semi-large, I'd say medium-sized hands. So my hands aren't that big, but I'm already feeling a little bit weird holding this. But what I always was hoping and thinking about this controller was at least it's got some kind of a grip. It's got a bit of a grip that goes down a little bit, just enough to where you get a nice feel for it. You're like, okay, I can hold this for a good period of time without it feeling like I'm just holding a Super Nintendo controller. And I love Super Nintendo controllers. Like, that's the thing is, if you have these sticks right here, I'm worried I'm gonna feel cramped and be like, I don't know about this. Because if you're just doing this like a normal controller from the 90s, like, it's like, okay, cool. I like those controllers from the 90s. I like Super Nintendo. I like Sega Genesis. I like those kind of controllers. But if you just stick analog sticks on them at the bottom, they better be good. You better have some good gripping, some good room for your thumbs to rest up here, or else it's not gonna feel comfortable after a while. It's gonna feel cramped after a while, cramp your hands, and I didn't want that. So I'm very mindful of that, and I wasn't sure if I was gonna like this, but just holding it right now, it doesn't feel all that bad. It feels pretty good. It feels like I can do this, but I will like try it out in a little bit. We're gonna try out some Sonic Jam, or some other games like Nights in the Dreams. I'll boot up my Sega Saturn. We'll have a good time. We'll see how this goes. It's been a while since I booted up my Saturn, but we got Sonic Jam working. They got me a modded Saturn here. Alright, so let me just show a comparison here. We got the original controller, original Japanese controller, since this is a Japanese Saturn. Japanese Saturns are a little bit cheaper than US Saturns, so that's why I have a Japanese one. Keep that volume a little low. So we got the new one, and we got the Japanese one. See, that's what I thought was interesting, was that when I got the Japanese one, like, oh, it's purple button, not blue button. But yeah, pretty much the same. Got even the same markings on the top and everything that I really like about that. That makes it more authentic to me, just to have those extra markings there. I didn't see those on the ones like the other. I got the other Retrobit one. It's a wired Retrobit, like regular Saturn controller. It didn't have these special markings on here, so I appreciate that attention to detail. Someone commented on Twitter about how it has a different Sega Saturn logo. It has something to do with the distribution of how Sega wanted them to use it and whatnot. I don't really care. Like, it's just a logo. It says Sega Saturn. It says Sega. It doesn't. I don't think it really matters to me. It's just a little cosmetic change, whatever. Anyway, let's try out the 3D world, the Sonic World, the Sonic Adventure prototype, if you will, of Sonic Jam, and see how it plays with the analog sticks. So I think I just push the start button and it starts blinking, and then I guess I push a button on here. I don't know how this is supposed to work. Connect the appropriate receiver into the console's control port. Once connected, the LED on the receiver will blink to indicate it is in search mode. Press start on the controller. The LED on the controller will blink as well. Press and hold the sync button on the receiver. Okay. Release the sync button once both the receiver and the controller remains blink. Okay. Once the lights remain solid. Oh. Okay. There we go. I got it. Okay, and then it says a hold start and B to switch to analog mode. Because you gotta do that, because this is like emulating like a 3D controller, where the 3D controller has a little switch right here. So, let's go ahead and hold start and B. 1, 2, oh, and then like it switched over right there on this little thing. It was over on the left. Now it's switched over to the second light. Okay. Oh, we're drifting. Wait, what? We're already drifting. That's not good. Okay, let me switch back. Okay. I'm not going to touch the analog stick. Okay, so I'm switching back and forth. Why is he walking? Why is he walk? Why are you walking, Sonic? You shouldn't be walking. Am I not supposed to do this when I'm in game? Like, what? Why is he moving? I'm not moving the stick. What's the deal? I don't know why he's moving. Why is the camera like this too? Like, how do I... What's the button that re-angle the camera? I mean, it's controlling okay. Feels nice, feels alright. I could do this, yeah, but I don't know why he's like automatically moving. If the LED on the controller is blue, press and hold start and B until it turns to red. Well, there's no blue or red, it's just this little green light on here. What are you talking about, instructions? There's no blue or green light. Or blue or red. There's no blue and red. It's just green. Okay, so I switched it back to D-pad mode. I guess the camera just normally does that, where it like zooms out as you go. Let me try restarting the game, and then I'll try... So I'm going to try restarting the game. I'm going to try holding the start and B when we get into the title screen, and then I'll see if that works instead. He's still moving. He's moving on his own. Why is he walking on his own? That is so bizarre. I mean, it's not going to mess me up, I guess, if I'm moving. But if I want to stop and like go somewhere, that might mess me up. I don't like that. I don't like how he's moving on his own. What the heck? This is a little bug. I'll try Nights in the Dreams and see if that's still doing it as well. But this is bizarre. If I want to be like, okay, now I want to go over here. I mean, I can stop and go. It doesn't move all that much, but it's like, come on, he's not supposed to be walking on his own. Maybe that's just what Sonic Jam does. Maybe it's closer to Sonic Jam. We should try a different game. So I got these little Joy-Con grips. This actually, you can't really get these anymore, surprisingly enough. I tried to get some extra one of these off of the internet, but I couldn't find them anywhere. I found these for PlayStation. Thought maybe they might work, but they only work on PlayStation controllers, PS3, PS4. So these things, you can't really get them on their own. I really like the way that these look. Got these like indented concave feel to them. I really like those. So I wanted to get extra ones, but I can't really find any more on the internet. But that's okay, because I got some more Joy-Con grips for my regular Joy-Cons. So I'm gonna put these on this controller here. I'm gonna see if we can take the nubs off of here. I know what you're thinking, like, oh, it's a brand new controller, you're gonna ruin it. Like, well, it'll be okay. I've done this before with my Joy-Cons before. Let me see if I can get into these. These are a little different. They got some extra, like, tactile things that latch on. I don't think the Joy-Cons, maybe they do. Maybe they have that, but I don't remember it looking like that. Okay, so I got both of them on there. They look pretty nice. I'm not gonna lie, I like the way these look on here. Look okay. Give it a little bit better grip. Better grip. Because I was thinking to myself, like, man, I'm really probably not gonna like the way how these feel with them being so small. But I was like, wait a minute. These are Joy-Con sticks. I bet I could just use Joy-Con grips on them and then they wouldn't bother me as much. And these are pretty cool. These feel nice. I like this. Okay, let's play some Nights in the Dreams. Okay, apparently it doesn't like to work on the action replay. Like, it just doesn't register at all. Which is weird. But if I do the whole switcheroo thing with the start and B, it does register as start, or I guess, oh, it registers as B, because it went back. That is weird. Okay, let's just hope there's no drifting in here. I guess I'll choose a girl. I can't remember what I chose last. I think it was the guy I played as last time in my save file. It's been a while since I've tried this, so I don't know. I think I played the girl. No, it's probably the guy, because I'm on the second level with the guy. Oh, trying to fix the camera and okay. I guess that is unavoidable. That's how this game works. Actually, these Joy-Con grips are making it a little bit harder to move. Might not want to use them actually now that I'm feeling it. Like, they make it give me a better grip, but maybe I'll get used to it. Oh, it feels a bit different now that with the Joy-Con grips on there. Like, it doesn't feel. It kind of almost doesn't feel right. Try and remember how to play this. Okay. Feels alright. It feels good. It's good analog. I like the grip in my hand. I like how it feels on my thumb. I like how it feels better. It feels a bit more realized. Like the kind of analog I'm used to. Takes a minute to be like, okay, I gotta push this a little bit more than usual. I was also thinking maybe if I kept on the original grips, maybe I could just put these over that and it wouldn't be. Oh my gosh, what is happening? Wouldn't be as hard to move. So, from what I'm getting here, if I don't move the character, she just goes straight down. She or he. Knights is genderless, but if I don't touch anything, I don't know if that's like how it is supposed to go. I don't think it's drifting. I don't think it's drifting because she's just going down. Knights is just going down. I don't think it's drifting. I think it's just the game. You stop, I stop moving, and she just starts moving down. And I think that's how it's supposed to go. I've never really tried going at a standstill with this game before, unless I'm playing as one of the humans, so or the kids, whatever, human kids. I guess the best test for this might be that one game I have, Sonic Z Stream. It's a Sonic Extreme inspired fan game that has analog control, a lot like the Sonic World game. I don't have that many games that use the 3D stick. I do have, like, I think it's Daytona USA. I have that somewhere. I don't know where it is. I have to go and find that copy, but the ones I have on hand are Nights in the Dreams and Sonic Jam and Sonic Z Stream. So we'll try Sonic Z Stream next to see if that analog drift is still there. That is a main concern of mine now. Other than that, I really do like this controller. It feels great. It feels premium. Feels good. Feels nice. You know, I'm not getting cramped. I'm feels good in the hands. Yeah, I'm kind of wishing I had the bigger grips, but you know, it feels all right. It feels all right. You know, I'm gliding through. Okay, I don't know why she's moving like that. Come on, stop it. Oh, darn it. I messed up. I was trying too hard to be like, hey, look, I'm thinking too hard about the controller. Okay, if I stop, she stops. Okay, so there's no drift. No drift in here. Okay, good. That's good. Let's switch games. Okay, so we're here with Sonic Z Stream now, and I decided to switch out the Joy-Con grip. I decided to switch out the analog grip with these other ones. These other ones that I got from Control Freak. So these are the only ones to me that stood out that looked like had some good grippage to them, like good tactile grip for your thumb. That's what I want. I don't want these weird Pokeball design, like, oh, that looks cute, that looks nice and all, but I want it to be able to have something nice for my thumb to rest on. I want it to look good and feel good. So I looked at these and I thought, okay, these are probably gonna be decent quality. And I was right. These are like the best ones yet, actually. And I thought that these, you know, that the concave ones from earlier, I thought those were gonna be the ones. But I think with those ones, I think they're a little bit too big. They're a bit too big for Joy-Con grip. They're okay for actual Switch Joy-Con, but for this one, I think these are just the right size. They need to be just the right size. They need to be small enough, but a little bit, just a tiny bit bigger to where you can feel like you can move it around. Because earlier it felt like those things were going to slide off or weren't going to be able to tug. I had to tug a little bit harder on the analog sticks just to get them to move. But these feel good. These feel really good. So if you're looking for some good thumb grips for this thing, I think these are it. These are the good ones. Or you can find some ones on Amazon that are pretty decent. I haven't tried. I didn't want to buy too many. They're pretty cheap, but I didn't want to buy a whole lot. They're like $7.99 a pop, so I didn't want to buy too many of them. So I tried to go for the ones that I thought were good quality. And I picked the right ones. Control Freak's good. I'm sure there's other good ones. There's probably other good ones out there on Amazon. I just wasn't sure. You know, you don't know until you get it in your hands. Not a lot of people are reviewing thumb grips, from what I've seen anyway. Maybe some people do that for videos, but usually people aren't too. I don't think many people are watching videos. I can understand why you wouldn't be like, okay, I got these thumb grips and reviewed them. Like, yeah, like who's gonna watch that unless it's jumbled in with a Nintendo Switch accessory. I can understand why you wouldn't find that too much, but they look like they're good accessories to your Joy-Cons, because Joy-Cons are such small little nubby things, don't have a whole lot of grip to them, aren't as comfortable to use as regular analog sticks. That's why I wanted to get these, because I was like, they're gonna use Joy-Con grips, come on. But yeah, we don't have any drifting. That's the point here. We got no drift this time. And that's good. If I don't move, he doesn't move. If I don't move the analog sticks, Sonic does not move, which is good. So it's just Sonic Jam. Only Sonic Jam is having that issue. So I guess Sonic Jam's just weird. Maybe it's because I burnt the game on a disc. I don't know. I had that issue with Quake 3 on Dreamcast as well. When I blurred it off of the SD card, Quake 3 decided to have drifting. So maybe it's just a weird... Certain Sega games have a weird thing when you pirate them. I don't really know what the deal is with that. But yeah, or not pirate, but you know, back it up on a disc, play it from a ROM. I don't endorse piracy, but you know, do what you want. I'm not gonna stop you. But basically, I guess if you burn certain games on ROMs like Quake 3 and Sonic Jam, I guess they just have drift. Maybe, I don't know. I don't understand that. But apparently, when I plugged in a Mad Catz controller into the Dreamcast, it stopped having the drift on Quake 3, which was just mind-boggling to me. I was like, okay. But anyway, so yeah, it's playing pretty well, playing pretty good. I can move Sonic around. It's a little bit awkward with this level design, but what do you expect? It's a fan game. I like that people tried to make Sonic Extreme on Sega Saturn. They actually tried. They tried a little bit, and that's good. It's fun to try it out and see what could have been, you know. But yeah, let's move on to some Nintendo Switch, shall we, and see how this goes on there. All right, I'm back. We're gonna test this out on the Switch. But before I continue with that, let me just say, you know, I really wish this was Bluetooth, because I can feel for you guys, because if it's not Bluetooth, we gotta deal with these little dongles here. We gotta make sure we can keep track of them. And what I don't like about Retrobit's dongles is they all look the same. This one and the ones for the Tribute 64, they all look the same. They're all these generic black ones, and it's like, I might get this mixed up. At least this has a little code. It has a little code number on the bottom right here, SGA. But the other one, this Tribute 64 one, doesn't have that. It just says version 2. This one says version 2 as well. So, you know, at least this has a code. If it didn't have that, I would be like, well, if I have this lumped in with all my other dongles in the same box, how am I going to know which dongle is which? And that's the problem. When you get a lot of these 2.4 gigahertz devices, you just go, okay, which dongle is the one for this one? Oh, is this one? No, that one didn't work. So I don't like, I feel for you guys about like, oh, why isn't it Bluetooth? Why can't I just hook it up and go? I mean, at least this does make it easy where you just put it in there and boom, it's good. But the other thing, I guess, is that Bluetooth's advantage is that once you pair it, you can just turn it on and it syncs up real nice. It's good. But with this, you always gotta push the button on here, and then wait for it to sync a bit, which isn't that bad. It works okay, but I mean, it does give you a better latency. There isn't as much latency. It's better connection. I'll give it that. I like 2.4 gigahertz because it is less latency than Bluetooth. I don't really know how much different it is, but I've heard that it is more direct and less latency, so there's that. But it's just a little inconvenient compared to Bluetooth, right? Means it works on less things, and I want to use it with the 8-bit DOE Pro 8-bit DOE USB adapter. I want to use it with this because this will unlock so much more features. I can remap it more. I can give it macros. That's a big thing. I want to be able to do macros. I can do macros for Street Fighter or for Smash Brothers. I can have an instant up special or an instant short hop move. Those are the things that I really like having on Smash Brothers. Just to give me a bit of an edge. It doesn't give you that much of an edge, but at least it helps a little bit. And it's like, ooh, you get that extra little bit faster of a recovery in the game. And it was just kind of nice. And I got to explore that a bit when I used this thing. This is the 8-bit DOE Pro 2, and I love this controller. This is such a good controller. I love that it has these programmable back buttons. And I love that you can like program any of these buttons to be different a macro. And I liked being able to use these as like an instant up B and an instant short hop in Smash Brothers. That was really cool. But what I was wanting to do is play with a different controller because I like the more GameCube style controller, and I actually was able to get that working with this controller. I'll save this for a different video, but basically this one comes with a button that will allow you to do a smash attack or a short hop with just a button, which is pretty cool. And what's nice about this is that I got it working with this, so I was able to do more macros with it. And that was awesome. I turned this thing into the ultimate Smash, like extra edge controller. And I want to show that off in a video sometime. But for now, I'll just tell you about that and say, next time I'll show you that in a video. I'm talking about like how this thing is actually really cool if you combine it with the 8BitDo USB adapter. This is fire. I love it. The only thing I don't like is having to sync it up with this thing every time I want to use it. Because usually it's supposed to like just sync up because it's already supposed to remember. But sometimes I usually have to just sync it up again, pair it again. It's a pain in the butt. That's the only thing I don't like. But yeah, I love this thing that exists. I love that we have this ultimate software we can just pair up to any Bluetooth device. It doesn't work on every Bluetooth device, but it mostly works on Switch ones. It seems like it really likes Switch controllers. I couldn't get it working with the Fly Digi Vader too, though. Maybe if I got the Switch version of that, but that one's like $80 for the Switch version of that. That's so much fucking money. I don't want to pay for that. Anyway, yeah, and the Fly Digi is a weird controller anyways. I only tried it out a little while just to see, and then I just took it back to Amazon. Anyways, well, yeah, that's what I'm noticing is that you have to change it back to normal. It can't be in analog mode for it, but it won't switch to analog. Do I have to hook up the Sega Saturn again just to switch it back to regular? This is so annoying. This is so annoying that like I can't. I'm holding start and B and it won't switch back to D-pad mode because apparently it only functions on the Switch if okay, so editor's note here. Actually, I don't think this is the case because I did get it working on the Switch, and you can hold Start and B while it's connected to the Switch. So I don't think you have to hook it up back to the Sega Saturn just to switch it back from analog mode to normal mode. I'm pretty sure you can switch it when you're trying to sync it to the Switch, so that's not accurate. Okay, so I synced it back to the Sega Saturn, and then I turned it back to regular mode. And now I'm trying to sync it to the Switch. If I do start and select an R, it acts like it's supposed to be synced, but then nothing happens. Okay, so apparently I had the wired Pro controller communication option turned off, and I just forgot about it. And that's what I needed to turn on for the Switch to detect the controller and connect to it. And this guy in Retrobit replied to my post about the issue, and he helped me out, and now it works. So thank you, Retrobit. Thank you so much for replying and helping me out. That's really great. If this is enabled, the Nintendo Switch Pro controller will communicate with the console via wired communication when connection to it using the USB charging cable. Ding, I didn't know that. But yeah, that's how you get it working on the Switch. You have to have that option on or else it will not connect, which I didn't know that, but that makes sense because it's 2.4 gigahertz. I guess that's how that works. Anyway, let's play some Cruise and Blast. Okay, so this video is already going pretty long, so I'll try to sum this up for you. The controller felt pretty smooth and nice on Cruise and Blast. I liked it. It was good. I did play some Melee with it a bit on the computer through Dolphin, and it was alright. I started to notice it was cramping me in my hands at this point, probably because I had been using it for a while, but I think it was mostly just because Melee is such a quick and precise game. It really requires you to have a good handle on the sticks and the controller. So I think it was Melee and just the fact that I had been playing with the controller for a while. But the thing is that the next day, when I tried playing Smash Brothers Ultimate with it, it didn't really give me that much cramp at all. I actually was enjoying myself quite a bit with it. So I think it was more than likely just me cramping after a while of playing a lot of games with it. I mean, I wouldn't say it's ideal for Smash Brothers, but you could adjust to it and play just fine. and I had a good time with it. It wasn't really that cramping at all. I was surprised. And this match actually got pretty close. I might upload these matches as like an extra video just for the fun of it, because this was a really good game. I had to fight this Ness, and he was really getting on my nerves with his PK Fire, and that way he was like spamming all his different moves and trying to hit me with his PK Thunder. Oh my gosh, this Ness gave me a hard time. But that being said, I think this controller is actually pretty versatile and works pretty well with a lot of different games. I think with some games, though, it might give you some cramping after a while, depending on what it is. And depending on how precise you have to be with the movements. I think with platformers, it's okay, but, you know, it might cramp you after a while. It really depends on the game, I think. But I am very satisfied with the way this controller feels and the way it performs. It's really cool. And I don't like how if I move the controller just a little bit too far up, it has to resync its range or something. And like it like stops responding for a minute there. I'm like, come on. But anyways, so in conclusion, it's a pretty nice controller. I have to say, I really am impressed with this. I really like this. I like the build quality. I like that I'm able to put Joy-Con grips on it that at least mitigate the fact that these things are small and a little bit weird. I like using this for Sega Saturn. Definitely delivers on working on my Sega Saturn, and I can play the games that I'd like to play with it. I like that. I like these analog sticks for that. These feel really good. I do own the 3D controller pad for the Saturn, and that is pretty cool. And it has analog triggers, which I could see like an advantage to some people. Like, oh, why don't I have those analog triggers for like the racing games? But I don't really mind it that much, in my opinion. I'm not that like die-hard of a racing guy that I feel like I need the analog triggers. I wouldn't really mind it. But it feels. I think these sticks would feel a little bit more, just a little bit better. Maybe a little bit better, like just because they feel more modern compared to the old 3D pad. The old 3D pad's not bad. I like it a lot. I think it feels good. I think it feels interesting. I like it, but these feel more at home with me. You know what I mean? But it works great with the Saturn. I'm glad it works great with the Saturn. I like this controller. You know, I say so. You know, if you're looking for something like this for your Sega Saturn and for other consoles as well, you know, get it. You can get it. You can pick it up for $50. That's not a bad deal for something like this that has these extra, you know, controls, extra features. I like that a lot. But if you're just getting it because you're curious and you just like, you like controllers, you like collecting controllers like me, and you want to own it for what it is, like, but you don't own it like a Saturn, I'd say wait for a sale because $50 is a bit much for that. But if you have a Sega Saturn, then I feel like it's worth it in that regard, because then you can play your 3D analog games with that. But if you don't have a Saturn, I'd say wait for a sale, because I don't think it's really worth the $50 just for this controller, just because it's a interesting design and it feels interesting to play certain games with it. It's cool. I like that you could remap these to be extra different buttons, and you could use this as a fighting controller and as a dual analog controller for certain games. But what I don't like is that it's not ideal for all those situations, like especially for something like Smash Brothers or a platformer. Maybe it would be okay for some platformers, but I feel like ones where you have to move a lot, it just wouldn't be ideal. It just wouldn't feel good. It just would, you know, kind of would really stiffen up your arm a bit after a while, and it maybe will, you know, it's just not the best for that. You can't get as good of a grip as I would like. I wish someone would, like, if someone could like 3D print like a better grip on this or something. Oh man, I don't know if it's the grip, or maybe I think it's just the fact that these are so small. I think it's just that these are so small. I wish they were bigger. Maybe one day. I feel like, you know, 8-Bit Do needs to make their own version of this. 8-Bit Do needs to make their own version of this that has better analog sticks and the extra macro features, the extra ultimate software features that we need to make this a really good controller. I'd pay $60 for that. Heck, I'd love to see 8-Bit Do tackle that. I almost thought to myself, maybe when this came out, and then Retrobit was like getting cold feet and thinking, oh man, we can't beat this. We can't do that because probably Sega wouldn't probably allow them to make a controller like this different from the design. It has to match the design of the Sega Saturn. It can't be too different from the original design. It has to be still intended to be used with the console that they're branding. So that might be why they didn't go the extra mile, and because it's pretty niche, and they're not I don't know if they're like the biggest company that they can take a chance and be like, yeah, we'll make it like this, but Sega Saturn style. I don't know if they can take that chance if they're gonna try to sell it. I can see why they were still trying to figure I can see kind of why it took them so long. I don't know why it took them this many years to get it figured out, to get it out the door. But I can see why they struggled a bit, because it is such a unique piece of controller that you're like, okay, how do we actually set this up properly? How do we do this? Yeah, I can see why they might be like, maybe we can't quite do this. We can't quite pull it off like this because of the Sega deal and the fact that people might not want to invest in one of these if they already have something like this. People are all about them back paddles nowadays. They aren't really all about using these. But I think this would be cool, because I just think it'd be more fun, and it actually feel more like an arcade stick. Because you go, you don't have to be like, oh, I remember the back paddle is the high kick. You don't have to, and people always complain, say oh, I don't know about these. What if I accidentally press them with my big hands? What if I accidentally press them? So, that's always something to be aware of. I just feel like 8BitDo could make something like this, and it could be the coolest controller, and you'd be like, whoa, and you have these extra grips and everything. It'd be so cool. It'd be such a great controller if they could just make it just a little bit more, push it just a little bit further, if someone could just take this idea and push it a little bit further, I would love it. I would absolutely love this. But oh well, you can dream, and maybe one day. I mean, things are progressing, things are getting different and more interesting nowadays. So who knows what the future holds. But that's gonna be all for today. I'm gonna wrap this video up. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this review of this controller. I don't really give a number review or anything. I just, let you know how I feel. I think it's worth it for Sega Saturn, owners, but maybe get it on sale if you're just curious and want a different controller. That's all I have for you today. This is Shock from the Shock Block, and I'll see you later. Peace. Okay, real quick, I just want to tease my next controller review for you guys. So there's this controller called the PlayStation 2 Storm Chaser, and it's a lot like this Sega Saturn Pro controller that I showed off here. So if you're interested in unique controllers like that, then please subscribe to my channel and stay tuned for a review on this controller, which is a very unique and interesting controller for the PlayStation 2, and I got it working on my computer and other consoles. So we'll test that out next time. I hope you stick around. Catch you later.